Hey everyone, it's Claire. This is Small Joyful Things. As always, I go to thrift stores and I go to estate sales and garage sales and all kinds of places, and I look for things that make me happy or that tell me a story or just that I find interesting, and I find out all I can about them and I tell you about them. So here's what I got for you today. It is this. I hope you can see this now. This is a teapot. You can see it's just got the little logo at the bottom, the same one that's on the top. And I'm kind of just assuming that it goes in something like that. Now, we get out the ruler. You see it's about 7 inches across. The camera is pointing almost completely down, so we're just going to have to, about 4 inches there. And at the highest point, about another four and a bit. So it's quite a nice teapot. I would guess that it's made of porcelain of some kind. It's kind of ceramic. Obviously, it's kind of heavy. It is quite nice to pour. I've actually just tested this. Like, can you actually pick it up and pour it comfortably? Yes, you can. I think it is a very fine quality teapot. So why did I get this? I got this because I was fascinated by this logo and this mark being the same. Like, think about this for a second. Like, if you have a teapot, especially if the nice teapots, the vintage ones, you don't see the mark of something like Royal Doulton or Limoges or whatever, or any of those expensive brands. They don't put them on the teapots themselves. That would be weird. So I was kind of fascinated by this one to start with, because I was looking at this going like, what in the world is going on with this teapot? Now, the good news is that I did manage to find the designer. Okay, I ended up buying this teapot for $7 in a thrift store, and I managed to find out who made it. If I can, I'm not good at iPads. Here we go. So here's the logo, and here is the guy. So the guy himself, all right, the guy who makes this, all right, is a French designer called Jean-Charles de Castelbajac. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. I'm not great at that. He's been working since about the 1970s. He's very well known for doing this kind of a pop art kind of design. Like, it's very much of a kind of I would say like an Andy Warhol kind of a thing. It's all these big splashes of color, in this kind of a sketchy kind of a thing. You can see there some examples of his work. He's known for doing a lot of these collaborations with different people. He does a lot of kind of designer stuff like clothes and what have you. So there's not really much mention of him doing pottery. So this teapot is a complete mystery. And just for the record, I could not find any record of it anywhere. I looked very carefully, and I know that Castelbajac has done at least one collaboration with Limoges to do this, kind of pottery or whatever. But not this. This design is just a complete mystery. I cannot find it anywhere. And I'm usually really good at finding this stuff. So, make it that what you will. What I do know is the logo itself. This is not the logo that he uses today. It's actually his kind of branding has changed since then. This logo was used in the 1990s. So technically this is vintage. This is more than 20 years old. Like, there's you can see a few places there, this kind of logo shows up on some clothes and what have you. It shows up on some of his other pottery items from Limoges. So I kind of get the feeling that maybe this pot is from the same time. Maybe. That is really my best guess. Like, the pot itself is just like, well, really, who knows? This is like the rare instance of it. This is just a bit of a mystery. I kind of like that. To be honest, just looking at it, I find the design of it to be kind of what I would expect from a French auteur. I would like to say that despite the fact that this, like that, sticking that right in the lid, that's a bit pretentious. But that said, the pot itself is actually really nice. If you sit it down, and you won't really be able to see this properly, I'd say, from the camera. If you actually sit it down and just kind of look at it from the side, it does kind of look like the teapot itself is floating on this band of color. It's just really kind of a nice little effect. So, I mean, at least I can appreciate that, he's a very good designer. It's just that I have no idea why he decided to apply his skills to pottery. This is, yeah, make of that what you will. So all in all, am I going to keep this? I have to say probably not. I have like my own teapot that I would use that would be bigger than this. I drink probably more tea than I could fit in this. I still kind of like it, and I definitely like it because it's just such a very, how would you say, it's very kind of a, like a very arrogant thing I maybe do, to take your logo, okay, and, you know, do this like this nice kind of modern contemporary design, and then stick your logo right in the lid just so it's very clear to everybody, I made that, okay, but then you don't put your name on it. That's the funny thing. Like, he put his logo here and his logo on the lid. I never put a name on it. He just kind of like, oh, here's the logo. And I'm just going to assume that, you know, when you look at this, that's me. It's just this very, I don't know. I find it very presumptuous. It's kind of funny. I'm sure that somebody is going to really appreciate this teapot. I find it a little bit, you know, it's kind of amusing. The design of it is kind of amusing. Yeah. So make of that what you will. I think I think it's kind of silly. This is my small joyful thing for the day. I hope, you know, it's something that you like as well. Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.